Let me take you back to when I was in grade 5. So this was years ago. And I was never academically gifted before I start. So this was one of the first ever events where I really felt appreciated for all my academic performances. So every year we'd have these award ceremony at school where they would award students who had extremely good academic performances, and justifiably so. If you're good enough, you're awarded for that. And it was my first time going to one of these ceremonies. And when I was there, before the award ceremony started, that's when I saw all the people out there in the crowd. There were parents that I knew that I didn't know. There were teachers I knew that I didn't know. There were alumni students that I definitely didn't know. And there were many other important people in that room as well. And they're all standing before the stage. Performances are going on before the award ceremony really starts. And now I'm looking out and thoughts are coming to my head. Do I deserve to be here in this moment? Am I sort of scumbagging my way to where I am right now? And I brushed those thoughts aside because I thought, you know what, that's pretty stupid. Now I get to the stage, and if you guys want a visual representation of what it looked like, the trophy looks something like this water bottle right here. So the principal stands right here and she calls out my name, and now she hands me the trophy, right? And the second she gives me the trophy, now I'm staring right into the crowd. Imagine a sea of parents, a sea of people right in front of you. Now they're all clapping for you. You would probably feel happy. That would be one of your happiest moments, at least till that point in your life, right? And you would think that that's something you treasure a lot. But now let me give you the argument of what actually happened to me and what many people actually do face. And that is that when they are in that moment, you don't feel happy, but rather you feel like you're an imposter. You feel, what have I done to be here? Or another argument that might come up is, do these people that are cheering for me know what I did to get this? So are they being half-hearted in what they're doing? Of course they are, but it's not like they're demeaning you. But at the same time, when you're a young kid, you think, do they really know what they're clapping for? And because of that, I felt embarrassed. In that moment, when I was standing in front of that crowd, I felt I'm doing something wrong. In fact, I don't deserve this award that I have. Maybe I haven't done what I needed to do to really get this award. And it got so bad, this feeling, that when I got back to my parents, I started crying. I started breaking down. Even many years later, I still couldn't explain why that happened, because that should have been one of my happiest moments. My parents didn't understand. They were like, why are you crying? Did something happen backstage? Nothing happened backstage. It was just the award. And I felt sort of like, why am I getting this award? Like, do I deserve this award in the first place? Now, let's fast forward this another 5 more years. And now I'm in grade 10. So I'm a bigger student. I'm a 15-year-old. And now I'm more mature, you'd say. I then opt to run for a race for my school and happened to get a medal for it. And the medal sort of looked like this. So imagine you're getting this medal and you're looking into the crowd. People are clapping for you. Of course, they don't know your name, but it's still a big pride moment. And I've just got a medal in a race that was very competitive. And now, again, that feeling comes back. Sort of embarrassment. I'm like, why are they clapping for me? I don't know why I'm here. Like, I started feeling like, again, do I deserve this? And this makes no logical sense, right? Because I've just run the race. I've just actually earned the medal. But in that moment, I see parents and I see teachers and again, coaches all cheering for me. But I feel, no, you might just be doing this for different reasons. And this is when my brain got scrambled in that point. I started thinking of things like, do they really know what I'm doing? And maybe they're just faking it. Maybe all the applause that they're doing, they don't really mean it at all. Maybe I should just invalidate all the emotions that they're showing. Maybe it's all wrong. And because of that, I couldn't even enjoy that moment. At one moment where I was supposed to be happy, where I've actually achieved what I wanted to achieve. I couldn't just enjoy it, guys, because My mind was in two different places. In fact, it was telling me, the majority part of my mind was telling me, you don't deserve it. And now let's push it a few more years into the future. And now we come to 2024. This, like you know, is when I started this YouTube channel. I had now spent 2 months, right? So this was November 2023 and December 2023, planning how I'd launch my YouTube channel and working on things like thumbnails, like editing, like video concept, video ideas, and how to actually go about everything else. I had a small plan in mind. Now it comes to the point where I have another like about 5 or 10 videos already ready. Now all I need to do is just upload. All I need to do is just press publish. That is when the thoughts come. That is when I start telling myself again, years later, are you really justified in publishing this channel? There are so many people who already have a YouTube channel. There are so many people who are probably in the same niche as you, who are doing the same things as you. Maybe they're doing it already better. Like, I have no knowledge in editing at all, but people are editing videos. I have no knowledge when it comes to titles and thumbnails. Don't know what to do. And how can my content stand out from everybody else? And think about it. This was one day before my channel was supposed to go public. So I'd done all the groundwork that needed to be done. But in all that time, none of these thoughts came, because you know what? I was like, I'm confident in myself. I know what I'm going to do. And to this day now, later on, I am. But in that one moment, right, just before the channel was about to be published, so the day before, that's all that was running on my mind. I was like, okay, you're starting something new, completely fresh, that you have no idea what you're going into. How's this going to work out? And then that's when thoughts came back of, do I deserve it in the first place? Are there people who probably deserve it more? There's no reason for me to think that. And then push it 2 days forward. And then people close to me, people who actually want to support me, they found out about this channel, and obviously they wanted to support me, and they gave me positive feedback. They was like, good job, keep it going, keep it going. Again, that is when that demon inside me, it came back out to play once again. It started telling me, do you really deserve all this? Are there YouTubers better than you? Do you even deserve all this applause and all this motivation? Because what have you done so far to deserve all that? Do they know all the work that you've done? Do they know maybe that you're not that YouTuber, that you're not a Mr. Beast yet? Do they know that maybe some things you do they know that you're not the finished article yet? And these thoughts drove me to the point where just 2 days after publishing my channel, I thought about not uploading any videos after that. I thought I might just put an end to it right now. And this is despite the fact that I had another 8 videos recorded, edited, ready to publish, ready to upload. The only thing that I had to do was just press publish, but I thought about maybe not doing it at all. And all these 3 stories that I've shared with you just now all relate to just one thing. And this is a very common thing which many people face. And that is imposter syndrome. Basically, imposter syndrome works around the fact that you know you have done something, but your brain tells you you haven't deserved it. Even though you have had the skills and you have delivered, you feel, do I deserve to be there? And these thoughts have come 3 times in my life. And I've not forgotten a single time this has happened. You know why? Because it is stuck around way longer than you think. Sometimes you just feel this insecurity just kicks in and you're like, I don't know why this has come about, and I don't know when it'll leave. You just feel it. And when this feeling is there, you don't know how to move on from there. And that is when I realized, right, when it came down to it, I took it a year later now. I was thinking about it. And how did I work around all these 3 problems? So what I realized is, it's like training muscles. On day 1, it's going to be very sore. Or in other words, you're going to feel that whatever you're doing is not working. Sometimes you're going to fail. Sometimes you're going to feel anxious. But the more you train these muscles, then you understand that things aren't actually that difficult. Things are actually all about repetition. And this is why, even when it came to YouTube, after the first upload, I just wanted to stop it all. I wanted to go back to no YouTube, no need for any of this. And I felt, okay, I got 8 videos, but what's the point? I might fail. I might as well not start. I might as well continue with exactly what I thought would happen initially, and that is no start at all. So with YouTube, the only answer for me was, it was about hitting this record button. It didn't matter what else I did. It didn't matter what I said. It didn't matter how I delivered it. It didn't matter how I edited. It didn't matter how the thumbnails were, how the titles were. The hardest step for me initially was to click record and to click publish when I had the video ready. It was taking away that step of contemplation, like thinking about, should I continue? Should I not? I just decided, you know what? Just do it. Because, see, the worst thing that can happen, is what? You get a dislike on your video. You get a rude comment. Even if you get a rude comment that you really don't like, you can remove it. If you get a dislike, it's just a number. For all we know, maybe the person just watched 1 second and he disliked the video. So maybe it's not really as deep as we think it is. And when it came to the awards thing, initially it was frightening. But later I told myself, and it was the same thing with the running as well. I told myself, it is not about the awards, right? It's not about going to the stage. It's not about how you feel in that moment. It's the same thing I use with public speaking as well. It's not about you, but rather it's about the achievement that you've done, the respect that you've got. The reason why people are sitting in front of the stage where you are at and clapping for you is because they feel a sense of respect for you. This can be a 5-year-old, this can be a 50-year-old, this can be a 90-year-old. Regardless of what it is, if there is somebody on a stage who is receiving an award, they have done something that most students or most people of their age group haven't done, which is why they are being awarded specially. And for that, any human will have respect. Let's say I go to an award show. Maybe I don't like, let's say I go to a music award show. Sure, in the moment you might think, it's just music, whatever. But no, because that person has probably done music better than you. They have done music better than even people who take up music seriously. They are the best of the best. So it's more to do with the discipline, and you just admire the discipline that it took to do what they've done. And the more I thought about it, back in grade 5, the fact is, as corny as it sounds, I probably didn't feel like a winner. Well, at that moment, I thought I might be a person with a losing mindset. And so I couldn't just accept the win when I got it. Same thing in grade 10. And it took till after grade 10. That is when everything changed completely. And when it came to the YouTube thing, it was about not being used to that terrain. Like, I was not used to getting this kind of feedback from people, whether that's people I know or people I don't know. And that put me in a very weird situation where I didn't know how to react in that moment. And which is why I probably resorted to looking at it as if I'm an imposter in that particular scenario. When I wasn't really. It was just me being unfamiliar with a place I was in. So whether that was speaking, whether that's uploading videos, whether that is taking a new initiative, what I used to do was, whenever after that I would be in school or any initiative after that, anytime I could be the leader of a group project, even if I didn't know anything at all, I would take it. You know why? Because even if you fail, the one thing you have learned is leadership skills. Or in other words, you have done something that you did not want to do in the first place. So it doesn't matter if you fail the first time or the second time, but it's just about, are you willing to do something that you wouldn't do otherwise? Even small things like, let's say you don't say good morning to people normally. You go out into the street, you just say good morning. Now you say this, let's say you say good morning to 2 people every single day for 100 days. By the 101st day, don't you think it's way more easier for you to go and say good morning to somebody? Why? Just because you said it. Because you have practice, because now you're used to that scenario. Now it's not something awkward. It's not something that you think, I've never done before. What am I heading into? That is the most important thing when it comes to anything that you're unfamiliar with, especially if you feel uncomfortable with the scenario. It's probably because you haven't been exposed to it enough. So if you feel imposter syndrome, guys, it's just because you have not been used to that environment. So how do you get used to the environment? Just keep exposing yourself to that, keep practicing, and yeah, just keep it flowing, guys. So I want to hear in the comments a story that you felt just like this in your life, where you might have felt like an outsider, where you felt you were demeaning yourself for something you succeeded in. If you've ever felt that, then in the most creative way you can think of, comment that down below. And if you enjoyed this one, you might want to check out the video on the right. So smash subscribe, slap a like on, and always remember, guys, never stop dreaming. See you all.